What's up everyone, Belligerent here with another Bloodline video. This is another composition video. I call this comp Dogs of War. Alright, let's jump into this. You didn't think we'd do it, did you? You never thought this one was coming, especially as bad as I've beat these characters up on tier list. You never thought this one was coming. But we're here, we did it. We built a comp around the female Lycanis. And let's take a look at how it works. So this is my typical formation of running this. But obviously, you should know by now, or maybe you're new, but you're going to move the positions around sometimes to counter what the enemy has. But this comp or this formation works most of the time. Okay? The reason we put the male lichen in the 2 slot instead of up front is because sometimes if he gets blown up too quick, he will bypass his fear. The only reason we have him on this on the board here is for the fear. I'm not a huge fan of the rest of his kit. I don't think he does enough damage. He's more of a tanky player that has a great crowd control. Now there's some different options that you could play around with, but this is the one we're going with. And look, this comp is not like, we're not going to call this comp like crazy out of its mind. It's not going to be, quote unquote meta, but it's fun and it works, right? Because you're not going to be able to take below average champions and make them above average comps. Like, it's not going, you're always going to be able to sub in other champions that are going to be stronger. That's just the way that the game is. That's the way most games are. That's why there's, when you do tier lists, there are certain champions that are S tier, A tier, stuff like that. But you can make other champions work. This comp works, and let's talk about how it works, okay? And let's talk about who we have on here. Okay, we have a lot of people's favorite, the female Lionstone, for the buff, okay? Not for the tank, for the buff. She does do some tank. There's even a neat little interaction where she'll shield one of the wolves that the female Lycanis calls and give it a little more life. So that's kind of cool. The male lichen, like I said already, tanky and for the crowd control. There's probably several champions you could slot in here. It's just the one that I went with. You could throw in the male Lionstone. You could throw in a number of other tanky things. And then it would work too. You might even be able to fit in some other extra damage here too, if that's what you wanted. I like the crowd control. The female lichen is kind of who we focused on as far as like looking at her kit, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. Okay. We have the female Fulgur because that's the one that I had, and because I used the male Fulgur in my last composition, I'm trying to create compositions with new champions. I could just keep repeating the same champions over and over again. That's boring, okay? And then we also have the male Elsdith, the dark elf the dark elf archer is the single target DPS in this comp. Again, we could drop another AoE mage in here and blow up the board faster, but we've already done that comp. I'm not trying to do the same stuff. I want to do some different things with some different champions because, people want to play different stuff. They want to change it up. Some people have favorite champions. They want to figure out how to make them work. So that's what we did. All right, let's take a look at this comp here. And this is what it's based around. So I was looking at the female lichen a little closer and doing some testing with her, and she may not be as bad as I thought. She's still not great. But, you know, my next tier list, you may see her jump up a tier or two. Because there's some unique interactions here that we have to discuss that you don't know unless you play test it and you're actually watching and paying attention to what's happening on the board. Because some of her skills are just not what they read as. Okay? So we have her active ability, which is called, it doesn't even tell us. All right, releases a fearsome growl, decreasing nearby enemies' fortitude and strength. Okay? This is kind of what all of this is designed around. She debuffs the entire enemy team. All right? The higher you get this leveled, the stronger it is. But even right off the bat here, I'm at 14.5% on only a 5-star. And I can actually go higher. I just don't have the books right now because this is a fairly new account here. That's really strong. Entire team debuff, and we'll talk about how that's going to work in tandem with the rest of this comp in just a minute. Her ultimate is not that crazy. Summons 2 wolves to aid you in battle. They don't do that much damage when they do attack. If they die, then her strength is increased by a percentage, and she gains lifesteal for 12 seconds. Not that big, not that strong, and that's not why we're playing her. We're playing her as kind of the support, the debuffer. Like, she's not really here to do damage. Her kit isn't really built to do damage. And then her passive is inflicts grievous wounds on the enemy attacked, decreasing their healing by a percentage. Okay, so let's talk about that one, because this is the one that is a very unique interaction, and it's not how it reads. Okay? She does it, the way I read it is whatever enemy she's attacking is getting these grievous wounds, but that's not it. And I'm going to show you this right now. She does not have to be attacking. She just has to be on the board, and healing is being decreased. So it is her passive, but because it says on the enemy attacked, it makes it feel like it's just one target. Here we're going to look at a video. She's not even attacking the target, but the healing is decreased. So let's take a look. Okay, we slowed this down. Look to the right of the screen with the female Doombringer and the female Lionstone. Her first attack is for 16 lifesteal, the female Doombringer. Her second attack is for 31 lifesteal, and this is without the female lichen on the board. So remember those numbers, because we're going to look at it again when we drop the Lycanis on the board, and then you will also see that the female Lycanis does not even attack the female Doombringer, and these numbers are going to change. So here we go. We're going to start it up again with the female Lycanis. See, the female Lycanis goes to the left, and then the first attack is +3. The second attack is +6 lifesteal, and there you have it. All right, so that's good stuff right there. We saw how she does it regardless of what the target is. Everybody is affected by it. Okay, then we have the Fulgur here. You could run Ignis, you could run whatever AoE mage you want. It probably doesn't even necessarily have to be an AoE mage. You could run another single target marksman if you wanted to, and just kind of one marksman on one side, one marksman on the other side. But it's always good to have AoE damage. In this particular comp, she's pretty much the carry. Again, just trying to use some different champions. She's not that much different than the male Fulgur, but she blows a lot of stuff up really fast. And with the armor shred from the female lichen and the strength buff from the female Lionstone, she can blow up the board a lot faster. Okay, now I threw him in here. He is not my favorite marksman. But the reason I used him is because this is a very good comp for him to be used in because of this skill right here. This is not the skill. I'm sorry. It's his passive. Okay. Increases critical rate and deals 8% more critical damage. The percentage goes up. Deals more critical damage to enemies with negative effects. Well, that's what we're building. That's what the female lichen is doing, is hitting the whole team with negative effects. Okay? So that gives prime targets for him. And when he triggers his active ability, he can pretty much one-shot somebody from full health to 0 health, depending on what the target is. One thing I have found works better for me, you might want to try it. I never trigger his ultimate. I just let his ultimate sit there and I don't trigger it. His ultimate is kind of weak. Fires a rain of arrows that deals damage equal to 96% of his strength to all enemies and removes their buff effects. Well, that ultimate is so slow, like it's just taking away from the DPS that he's doing. This ability, for 5 seconds, each normal attack is replaced by 5 rapid shots, each dealing damage equal to a percentage of the caster's strength. So basically every shot he takes for this period of time is dealing more damage than his regular shot, right? And it's 5 in unison. Like, he really does a lot of single target damage, especially when the strength buff is up and the armor shred buff is, or the armor shred debuff is going. He does really well in this comp, and that's why I used him. Okay, and then again, the male lichen, do what you want with that slot. I just put it in there.
All right, so here we are.
So
with
now we'll take a look
comp,
at
except for we have
this comp kind of in action.
Male Yiv,
and I'm also going to show you that
lichen.
it is indeed.
I know. He's only epic.
The female
She's
lichen,
mythical.
Kind of the key.
Give me a
to
chance
the way
to prove
this is
myself,
built.
and then you can make your own determination. Okay, so we're just watching the fight play through here, and we're going to see how it goes. But again, just give it a chance. I know. The might's going to be different because he's epic and she's mythic and all of that good stuff. I got you. Have some faith. I got you. All right. So we can see here the fight does not go well for us. Okay. So now that we've lost, let's take a look at the stats from it. And we can see we got 103,000 damage out of our male Yiv. Okay. And you can look at some of the other damages there. 189 from the Fulgur, 137 from the Elsdith. Okay, so now we're going to take the same level, stage 6-4. We're plugging in the female lichen. I know. She's mythic. I got it. Let's go. Okay, but same level. Both were at level 96. I used the same resources, so the same gold, the same skill books. Let's jump in, take a look, see how this fight goes now with her in it. Okay, and then, like I said, I know what you're saying. I know what everybody's complaining about. Look, I didn't have a mythical Yiv to put in, but still, I think I'm going to be able to prove my point to you. So just give me a minute. Let's watch this fight play out. And as you can see, this fight is going very different with the female lichen in. Okay, so now that that's over, now that the fight has been won, let's take a look at the stats. And you'll see, look at that. The female lichen did about 40% less damage. It's not her damage. It's not the fact that she's mythical and doing a lot more damage than the male Yiv that's carrying them. What's carrying them is that she has the armor shred, and she weakens the enemy team. But that's it. That's our Dogs of War comp. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, subscribe. I'm Belligerent. Peace.